Good evening. Welcome to Tactical Talk with Mad Dog Armory. I am your host, Jillian, and this is...
The sidekick. I'm Shad. Hi.
Not sidekick, partner. But yes, welcome and happy Friday to everybody watching and listening. Tactical Talk is our favorite thing to do now. We really enjoy bringing you industry news. We are the gun industry topic, of course, if you didn't know. And we are super excited to be here. Area 52 is the production company that's bringing us to you. Yes. So we want to thank them for that. I have a piece of hair that's like... So we want to thank them for bringing us to you. Yep. We were very excited when they came to us, and we're looking for a gun shop or gun show. And Shad and I were more than happy to oblige. I know, we did it at the same time. We're getting good at this. So the show is very exciting for us. We're on every Friday from 6 to 7. You can find us on all our social media, all the social media outlets. We would love for you to like, subscribe, and share with everybody that you know, because the gun industry, as you know, is under attack, and
our Second Amendment rights are constantly under attack, unfortunately.
Yes, and if you are a 2A supporter, we would love for you to share this. We bring you all sorts of different kinds of gun industry news, products, lots of different stuff that we talk about, training, and so there's a lot of things that people can learn depending on what you're looking to achieve. So please go back and watch our other shows, and like I said, like, share, subscribe to those. Today's show is 19, but as you can see on your screen, we have 18 previous. 18 previous, right? That's a lot of shows. Yeah. That's 18 hours.
18 in the can.
18 hours of Mad Dog Armory Tactical Talk. What better thing to do, right?
Binge watch some tactical talk.
Exactly. So Shad and I are the owners of Mad Dog Armory. You're wearing a Mad Dog polo today.
I am,
Good
but
job.
I'd much rather look at that one.
Oh, wow. Sorry. But yes, so we are the owners of Mad Dog Armory. We have 2 locations in the Tampa Bay area. One is in Largo and one is in Tampa, the city of Tampa. And we are super excited to share that information with you, because our shops are pretty unique. We're very proud of them. We have a great staff in both locations. They're doing really well. Our new Tampa location is in like a democratic city.
South Tampa, yep.
And the response has been great from the public and the community, and we appreciate
it. It's been really good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well. We were a little hesitant at the beginning, but people have definitely come out in force and shown their love. So it's been great. Yeah,
absolutely. And if you're interested in owning your own Mad Dog Armory, we are franchising. So we have a lot of interest. We just started advertising for that. And the responses are coming in the inquiries are coming in so heavily that I have to hire a salesperson to help me go through all those, and he's supposed to be starting soon. So if you are interested in owning your own gun shop, which is what Mad Dog Armory is, if I didn't say that, we're a gun shop and training center, then we can help you with that. It's a turnkey solution, and we want Mad Dogs all over the country, and we can keep your Second Amendment going, training, and keep people safe, keep communities safe, which is why we opened. You know, we wanted a place that people can go, the community can go to help educate them, make sure people are being safe with their firearms, and if you're interested in something new, we can help you get trained on that. Concealed licenses, all different kinds of training is available at our shops, and we want to bring that to the entire world. So if you're interested, we can help you with that.
Domination.
Exactly. All right, so we have a new raffle so if you haven't been watching, we are holding raffles in both shops. Tampa last month, I want to say, we picked the winner of that raffle. So basically you buy your chance. So I think it's $10 a chance.
It's $10 a chance, that's correct.
It's $10 a chance, and you get a ticket, and it's entered into the raffle, and we choose it pretty much once a month, depending on how many tickets we sell and things like that. And then we choose the winner live and on Friday at 6. And last time we we had one winner so far because we
Yes.
only had one, but now we have another one.
Day.
Javon Day, yes. Oh,
Hey,
he's up on
there
your
he
screen.
is.
Yep. And so today we're going to pick a new winner.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. Our Tampa store completed the raffle, and we're going to pick a winner. So somebody
Pick a winner.
today, pick me a winner. Today, somebody is going to win a
Springfield Armory Edge ATC
rifle.
rifle.
Yes.
Yes.
Super excited about that. Very cool rifle. And it is going to be somebody's today
Yep.
for free, kind of, minus the chance.
Whatever, right.
So,
you're
very
saying
excited.
there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance.
That's right.
So yeah, very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Largo just started our Largo location. And for those of you that aren't local, our 2 stores are in the Tampa Bay area. Largo is in Pinellas County. That's our original store that we've had for quite some time.
That's right on the Gulf.
It's right on the Gulf, close to the water. And that one is holding the raffle for a Zev Zar Core Duty.
Beauty.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew he was
Duty.
going to say duty. In 5.56 with a Holosun 510C.
and 3X
Red
magnifier.
dot and magnifier.
And a Magpul bipod.
Correct, yes.
And the Saint Edge ATC does come also with a Magpul bipod.
Okay, so the raffle that we're doing today also comes with that. Okay, so you have the opportunity in both locations now, and so go ahead and put in a try, and you could be just like Javon and win a free rifle.
And
So yay.
as they expire or as we complete them, we will be starting new raffles. So with different firearms. So
Yeah.
whether they're pistols, rifles, all sorts of different stuff.
Super
So,
exciting.
yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, so totally cool. All right, so today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about headlines and things that are going on in the community, as well as, around the world. And then we're going to do the raffle, like I said, and we're going to talk different kinds of guns. So when Shad and I were kind of talking about what we're going to do the show on, I was like, let's just talk about different styles of guns. So there's handguns, long guns, different types of each. So we wanted to kind of break them down and kind of give you the pros and cons of both. Guns are a very personal decision, and if you just have your first one, that might be more of like a range gun, a handgun or something like that, and then you kind of fall in love as soon as you learn and you start shooting,
Right.
and then your collection starts. So,
Starts to grow.
yeah. So when ladies, when you hear like your husband, bought another gun, they're like, why do you need another gun? Because it's pretty awesome. And the
they're-
collection happens.
Right. So I try to talk to them about they're kind of like screwdrivers, right? It's kind of hard just to have one screwdriver to do everything that you need to do. So
Sure.
these give you different options to do different things is kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So, so we did bring a bunch of different types. So if you're not sure what your next gun is going to be, or maybe your first gun, or whatever area you're in, we're going to kind of talk about all these different kinds and what's good and what's bad, like I said. So last show, if you want to go back, so that'll be 18, right? So we're on 19,
19,
yay.
18, yep.
Last show we did headlines and also online shopping. So online transfers, if you buy a gun online, kind of the pros and cons of that. And it was a really,
process and-
yeah, and the process exactly of how to buy a gun online, what you have to do after. And then, that's a really important topic because we are in an industry, retail, it gets competitive, right, with online shopping. So we want to keep our
Absolutely.
local gun shops alive. And so we gave you some tips and some ways to do that and still get the item that you
Right.
want, but also by supporting local gun shops, which is really important.
Right, and we get it. It's tough because you want to shop around, you want to do what you want to do, but sometimes it can be a little tough as entrepreneurs to kind of compete with some of those big box places.
Sure.
And anything you can do helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, I mean, you can pretty much buy anything on, well, not guns, but on Amazon or some, one of those big online retailers. But, we prefer to kind of shop around local and support, local businesses because that really helps. So definitely want to do that moving forward and watch that old show.
Yep. It's who you want to give your money to is kind of what it comes down to. So if you want to
Absolutely.
keep it local, you purchase local. If you really don't
Yeah.
care and you just want to give money to George Soros and stuff like that, then you just, go to Amazon and buy from Amazon.
Does he own Amazon? Oh, I've heard that name before. I thought that was like pedophile thing or something. Is that somebody else? Who's the guy that had
That
people
killed
going to an
himself.
island?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was.
Anyway, that's not
a
him.
whole nother. No.
Never mind.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. So since the last show, I'm hiding it with my hair a little bit, but I have a little Band-Aid, so FYI. Went to the dermatologist, had a little thing, whatever. So I wanted to bring it up because we are in Florida. So if you're local, remember, we talk about safety. So this is safety for your skin, right? Everybody should go to the dermatologist, make sure you're being smart in the sun, because about 2,000 people each year die of skin cancer. So you're going to want to get those little things checked and definitely make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your skin. And also the fun fact is that it's National Hammock Day. So when you're out in your hammock, make sure you put sunscreen on.
There's a day for everything, right?
There is a day for everything.
For
We go through the calendar, and it's really funny when we're looking for this, because actually tomorrow is National Ice Cream Day, vanilla specifically. Vanilla Ice Cream Day is tomorrow.
And then was it like National Rat Trappers Day? Is that today or is that tomorrow?
Today. It was today, but
I'm wondering if there's a union for the
Probably.
United Rat Trappers.
I would think so, because God bless those people, because I'm running the opposite direction if there's a rat.
I'm
so when they
not
run in,
scared of a lot of things. I freaking hate rats.
They're
Things are
gross.
disgusting.
They're really
Rah.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while today is National Hammock Day, remember to take care of your skin. Again, Floridians, be safe and make sure that you take care of your stuff. And
Yes.
I probably didn't have to mention it because my hair is covering it, but
nonetheless.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Moving on. So
Alrighty.
what else is happening local? The Bucks.
Start training camp next week.
Yes.
Tuesday.
So 1 weekend to go. Today's
Yes.
Friday, so this coming Tuesday, training camp. Football season is about to start. Shad
right.
and I's favorite.
Yep.
So we are super excited. Brady is back. Do we know if Gronk is back?
Gronk has retired and has come out and
Not.
said that he is
Done.
done.
Damn it.
So we'll see.
Okay. Well,
He's changed his mind before. We'll see what happens.
that's true. And we have a little bit of time.
So we did just sign Kyle Rudolph, who is a known tight end name. So we signed him yesterday.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
we'll see. So that adds a little depth to the tight end room.
So hopefully we could do another Super Bowl. Yay. Go Tampa Bay.
And we actually got tickets to go
Germany.
to Germany. So we're going to be going to Germany for the Bucks Seattle Seahawks in November.
Yes, so the Bucks play in Germany, so that's exciting. So, yeah, we're excited for that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Woohoo.
cool. All right, so then starting today in the Tampa Bay area at the Tampa Convention Center, we're very excited this weekend, and please go out and support, go and check it out. It's called Turning Point USA. They're hosting it, and basically what it is, that Turning Point USA, its mission is to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of freedom, free markets, and limited government.
Yeah.
So this is very important because our next generation has to understand how important our rights are, especially
right.
our Second Amendment rights and all of our rights, basically,
Right.
that are under attack. And people who shall remain nameless are trying to take away, right? So it's very important to reach the younger community,
Right.
and this is a great opportunity to do that. So this weekend, starting July 20th to the 22nd,
Yeah, today.
today, yep.
Starting today.
Is
Yeah,
today the
started-
20th?
Yeah, started today.
Oh, today's the 22nd. Wow, I'm a couple days behind.
Well, it started today, so it
okay.
starts today, Friday. So it's
Friday the 22nd,
right,
which
so-
is today.
Yeah, so tonight, actually, I think Ron DeSantis is the speaker tonight.
Yes,
So,
Governor
yeah.
Governor DeSantis. So
Yeah.
how exciting.
He might even be going on as we're talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's, did it start yesterday or today?
Today.
Okay, so it's today.
Starts today.
Okay, sorry. So today,
Welcome back to the show.
welcome back. So today it starts at the
Yes.
Tampa Convention Center. So check it out. There's a bunch of really awesome speakers. Donald Trump, President Trump, is going to be speaking tomorrow night, so Saturday evening.
And Don Jr. as well.
Don Jr. There's a bunch of Fox News anchors, Laura Ingraham, and a couple others. Senator Ted Cruz is going to be there. He's going to be speaking.
Awesome.
I like him a lot. He's really he's Texas, right? He's
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
he is like awesome. When I hear him speak, I'm like, yes. It's crazy how common sense stuff that comes out of his mouth is just like Wow, that's common sense. Yeah, really well done.
Yeah.
Rick Scott, who used to be our governor here in Florida, Governor DeSantis, like you said, Congressman Matt Gaetz. I'm not really familiar with him, but I am excited to meet him and hear him. And then, of course, Benny Johnson, who is a new friend of ours. He's been around for a little bit, and he's a great online presence,
social media guy,
and he is very informative. I laugh a lot when I watch his shows, and he brings a lot of good information and some comedic relief. And he's the one that introduced us to the Turning Point USA.
Benny.
And then he's got this show, Benny on the Block, so I'm interested in seeing that. So we're very excited, and thank you for the invite. We got some tickets, and we're going to invite, we've invited our staff and some friends to join us at this event. So thank you very much. I look forward to meeting him in person, because I haven't had a chance to
on
yet.
Instagram, he's at Benny Johnson.
Yeah, he's a very cool dude. And unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to meet him when he was in the shops. But Shad and our manager, Freddie, and our staff did, and they said he's really great. And I really look forward to meeting him and his wife.
Absolutely.
At the event. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Yes.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, so let's start talking about our show and talk guns.
Cool.
And basically go from there. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is headlines, of course. And last week we talked about how 50% of gun owners buy guns and don't shoot them.
Which is really is amazing.
Too many.
Yeah.
So we need you to get out there and start training and start shooting those guns.
Yep.
This topic today, we're going to kind of help you, choose a gun or tell you pros and cons about each one of these guns. But the gun that you have, you need to learn about and you need to shoot it. You need to understand how it functions and the recoil. If you haven't shot it, how do you know how to handle the recoil? Right? So the recoil is the kickback when you shoot the gun. Also on how to hold it, right? So there's a certain way that you hold a firearm in order for you to be safe, because if you're holding it incorrectly.
And two different grips for a semi-automatic as opposed to a revolver.
Correct.
So,
Good point. So depending on the gun that you have, like Shad said, you might have a different grip. So very
just
important.
Had somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody just the other day that was talking to me about, they went to shoot their revolver and they started getting a bunch of black stuff on their thumbs. And I'm like, well, that's because you're not holding it properly.
The blowback,
They were holding it
like a
semi-automatic.
Yep.
Which is going to be a little bit different. So,
Absolutely, yeah. And so that's why training is so important too. You go to the professionals, stop into a Mad Dog Armory. That's what we're here for. That's what we live for. It's really important for us to train the community so you stay safe and you learn how to protect yourself. We offer all different types of training. So whether you're a beginner or advanced, if you want to learn how to clean your firearm, maintenance, gunsmithing, all that stuff.
And don't feel like when you come into the shops that you're going to come in and ask a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I mean, really. Everybody's been there. We all started at some point in time, so don't feel like something is stupid. I get people all the time, do you mind if I ask you a stupid question? I'm like, well, it's not stupid, but go ahead. And they ask me, I'm like, that's actually a really good question.
Sure, absolutely.
So,
and it's important because if you don't ask, you don't know, right? So it's really, really important to ask questions. So that's a really good point. And our staff is trained to, of course, never treat anybody less than, or that it is a stupid question, because it's not, and that's what we're there for. We're there to help you, and that's what we strive for.
And even if you're not a customer of ours, shoot us an email, tacticaltalk@mdarmory.com, and ask us the question. We'll be more than happy to get back to you.
Absolutely.
So if you're not confident or comfortable in going into a gun shop yet, reach out and we'll be more than happy to help you.
And that's a good point, because when we're training our salespeople, they say, well, sometimes people come in and they say, I'm just looking. And I'm like, well, that person, you never know their story, right? Because in the beginning, even for me, when you walk into a shop, you don't know anything about guns. You don't know anything. You don't know if the guns in the display are loaded. Are they going to go? How do they go off? Maybe, if the guy touches it, it's going to go off. Or
there could be some anxiety,
absolutely,
right? About walking in, about not understanding, and again, they don't want to feel stupid, right?
Sure.
When they come in, they don't want to ask stupid questions. But again, as a beginner, there's no such thing.
No.
So it's okay to get educated, and this is one of the ways to get educated.
We embrace,
So,
we
absolutely.
embrace beginners. We think it's fabulous, and we're there to help for sure. So definitely ask questions and stop in and get training, 50%.
Yes. Got to get that number down.
Right. We also talked about actual things that would help reduce gun violence. So this is something that's in the media all the time, right? They really publicize the school shootings and things that are happening. So if you see something, say something. We talked about that and how important it is. And I saw a commercial the other day, and I think it was both of us sitting there, and it was for the Sandy Hook Promise, it's called, and it's Know the Signs. So this is something that we talked about, right? And it's exactly what I was saying. And when I saw the commercial, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm saying. If you see something, say something. You have to know the signs. And it is our responsibility as family members, as community members, to say something and know the signs. So I was really intrigued. So I went into their website, and the Sandy Hook Promise has published a long list of warning signs for you to look out for, and what could give an indication that someone is planning a mass shooting, right? Wow. So this is all different age groups too. Look at that, 4 to 12, kindergarten, right? So you can start talking to your kids, because it's so important to understand that people are giving indications. There are signs, there are things that are happening prior to these events happening that can be noticed and spoken about. So to prevent even one of these from happening would be great. So that's a really awesome thing that they did. I mean, a lot of times it's a lot of rhetoric and just, we don't really like any of the, the crap that people talk about and stuff. Because it's agenda. It's an agenda. Right. And I don't know if this is an agenda or not, but I just liked that specific thing that was just up on your screen, because I feel like maybe parents don't understand that there are things that they can do, and there's things that they can talk to their kids about. Absolutely. To help out. Like if the kids know, they're sitting next to somebody.
It's education, right? It's just being educated, educated about a topic, and just, do what you can, whether you know how these things work or don't, but you want to be educated. And we definitely want our kids to be safe. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And, unfortunately, the kid at Uvalde, he's on the other end. The reality is, as you think about it, he felt so horrible about things that he felt that he had to do something like this, which sucks in itself, but again, we definitely, these are our kids. Yeah. So I'm definitely not by any means saying that we feel any sort of way towards that lunatic, but there are signs prior is all I'm saying. And that's what we have to be conscious of. Absolutely. But everybody in that situation was a horrible victim. And it's awful. So I love that. So know the signs, look that up. Cool. And it's very, very cool. So it gives you an opportunity to know what to say to your kids, because they know what's happening. They sit next to that kid, or he's in a class with them and he's talking all this crazy shit, and your kid needs to tell you. Absolutely. And feel like they can tell you and feel comfortable telling you. Yep, absolutely. Exactly. So. All right, cool. So to guns. So that's what we're here for, right? So guns, yay. Okay. So, I mean, people think I'm crazy when I go to a marketing thing, there's a whole group of people, 50 people or whatever, and they're like, guess what Jillian does, and they never guess, right? Like, oh, she's an interior decorator. She's a gun girl. Yeah. Everything but a firearm instructor, gun shop owner. It's hilarious. So I love the shock value. All right. So we have different kinds of guns. So there's different categories for guns, right? So you have handguns, right? And different kinds of handguns would be revolver, semi-auto, Derringer, or a single shot, right? So these are the most common. Now, if you're going to Google, and you probably find another type or whatever, but these are the most common that you and I are going to hear about on a daily. So there might be a few others that we don't talk about. Right. So we don't want you to be like, you forgot this one. So, so the most common and the easiest, I guess, are the cowboy guns, right? Yeah, I mean, the kind of the oldest. They've been around a long time. So pro con, right? Pro, they're very easy, right? Very easy to work. They pretty much don't falter. I mean, if they do, something really bad happened, right? Right. So in this particular instance, we load, we close cylinder, You pull trigger, it goes bang, and it just, it gives you another round. But capacity-wise, so that's going to be one of our issues. We can only hold so many rounds in it. So this particular one is a 7-shot, right? So 7-shot.
2, 4, 6.
6-shot.
Yep.
There you go.
So revolvers are super easy because, like Shad said, the cylinder opens pretty easily. You pop the ammo in, you close it, and bing, bang, boom, right?
Right.
So super easy. However,
reloading, so when you're out of those shots,
limited.
it's going to take a little bit more time to
Correct.
get ready to shoot some more rounds.
Correct.
So,
And that's the that's the con.
Yep.
So pros are easy to use. Cons are going to be capacity and change out.
Yeah.
Right? So they do have those speed
Reloading.
loaders.
They do, but kind of bulky. So,
Bulky.
if we're concealed carrying or if we're doing something else, it could be a little...
Have a big old cylinder in your pocket.
It could be a little
Is that
bit
a
more interesting.
cylinder in your pocket?
Are you just happy to see me? But yeah, so...
Yeah. So pros and cons. The other thing with a revolver too is I've trained a lot of people where it's a double action, where they're pulling and they have a really hard time pulling the trigger without cocking the hammer back. So,
and that can be a pro though as well. It can be a con. It can be a pro based on their capabilities.
Right.
So the pro is it's harder to pull the trigger, which means the accidental or incidental pulling of the trigger, which if your finger's on the trigger, you should be ready to shoot it anyway. You've made the decision.
You've made the decision to shoot.
Right? So ultimately, your finger shouldn't be on the trigger until you've made the decision to go bang, bang.
Yes, absolutely. So revolvers do have, I love revolvers. I think they're great. The calibers range from very small, like a 22 long rifle, all the way up to 44 Magnum, 460. 50 A&E, right?
Yeah.
So
50 Smith & Wesson.
50 Smith & Wesson,
Yeah.
sorry. So big range in ammo size, like from this little itty bitty to this like huge one.
And there's actually some revolvers that actually get into rifle cartridges that are...
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And shotgun.
Yeah.
410.
410. Well, I'm talking about like big rifle cart, like 30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, thank
So
you.
so you can get some
Wrist
stuff.
breaker.
Yes, you can get some stuff that's really up there. So
Don't want a wrist breaker.
No.
I don't like that. So that's revolver. So very simple to use, but maybe a good fit, maybe not. Just depends.
Right.
So again,
easy to use, limited on capacity.
Yes.
That's going to kind of be the con.
Yes.
Is limited on capacity.
For
Easy
sure.
to use, easy to maintain. That kind of stuff is all pros.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
and then it gets into can you pull the trigger or not, depending on dexterity issues. So that
Correct.
might be a pro or a con based on that.
Yes, agreed. Cool.
Yep.
So then we get into our other type of handgun, which is semi-auto, right?
Right.
So semi-automatic is going to have, it's not full auto, it's not, it's semi-auto. So one pull of the trigger, one
Yep.
bullet. One pull of the trigger, one bullet.
Right. So, but now we get into capacity. So we're definitely gonna have more capacity in here.
Pro.
So, right, this particular guy is 10 rounds, but I mean, there's stuff that's
It comes with a
17, comes to
15 too.
21. So capacity-wise, you can, double, triple, quadruple capacity, compared to a revolver.
Yes.
Definitely a pro. The minus can be that it gets, I want to say, finicky potentially, so you could have issues with malfunctions, meaning that the gun doesn't cycle properly, so then all of a sudden it doesn't work. You have to fix that problem very quickly, whereas a revolver, usually you're not going to have that problem.
Yeah.
So,
And it depends on what kind of ammo you're using. So if you're
There are
using crappy,
variables, sure.
shitty ammo or ammo that the gun doesn't like, you could
Right.
potentially have a higher risk of having some
Yep.
sort of malfunction,
Yep.
which is never good in a high stress situation. But
Right.
that is definitely a con. But the pro is the easy, quick change of the magazine, the capacity, like Shad
Capacity,
said. I love a semi-automatic as well. Sorry, but you'll hear me say like, oh, look at this one. I love this one too. So I do. I don't have a favorite gun,
Yeah.
just like I don't have a favorite child. Sorry, girls and boys. But it's, a semi-auto is great. So it
Yes.
just depends also on if you can work it, right? So
Yeah.
just like Shad was saying with the revolver, and pulling the trigger, and people have a hard time with that. Sometimes people can't pull the slide back, right?
Right.
So sometimes people have a hard time with that. And so that's going to be either a pro or a con for you. And
Right.
then I like the sound of it. So, like, that's a warning to
Right,
me.
right.
So if somebody's coming into my house and I'm yelling, like, you better announce yourself, all those verbal commands that you're supposed to, say if you hear an intruder or something like that. you rack that slide, if you pull back on it, that's a pretty distinctive sound
Yep.
that you don't want to hear as
Right.
right?
That's
Better
right.
announce yourself. It's a great sound.
Yes.
So, but I can also handle the slide very easily. Not in the beginning, but now, after experience and training.
And that's just it. That's where we get into the training portion of
Sure.
stuff, right? So if you practice, yes, is this easy? Yes.
For us.
But reality
Right.
is as you train and you
Oh,
learn
yeah.
more about something, it becomes easier. It's kind of like
Sure.
when you drove for the first time, right? You were
Yeah.
10-2. I mean, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
and then as time goes on, you know where the AC is. So you're like, oh yeah, you start to relax. Now all of a sudden you're all kicked back and relaxed and,
Right. Yeah.
doing your makeup and drinking, some coffee and
Well, I'm
stealing
glad
with
you
your
clarified.
knee and all sorts of fun stuff.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Those multitasker people driving.
Let's not get into driving,
Yes.
sir.
Drove by
All right.
somebody the other day and they were actually watching a
I've
show.
seen that
They
before.
had their phone down where the speedometer is and they had a show on. And I was
terrifying.
like, holy crap. Yeah.
All right, viewers. I
Yeah.
know some of you do that because I've seen it too. That's terrifying. Yeah. I mean, the show can't wait. I'm just saying.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So semi-automatic,
Yeah.
high capacity, right? I mean, that's
It
going
can
to be a
be,
huge
yes,
plus.
it can
High
be.
capacity in comparison to a revolver.
Sure.
Easy to reload. Cons potentially are going to be the fact that, malfunctions or them not, functioning properly or when you need them to function.
Right.
But that can be for multiple reasons.
Correct.
So,
And if
yeah.
you maintain your gun and you do things that the way you're supposed to
Yeah.
on your firearm, on the semi-auto, you shouldn't have malfunctions. It's rare. It's more common with like the smaller cartridges like 22 long rifle, just because the spring inside of the gun that makes that slide snap back isn't very powerful on the 22s, so it doesn't kind of sometimes eject the casing out, and that's really the most common with the 22 long rifle semi-auto cartridges. But I rarely have malfunctions with my other guns, but mostly it's the most common with those small caliber semi-autos. So I don't want people to think like, oh, semi-autos, are constantly malfunctioning, because they're not. It's just more common than a revolver. So we're
Right.
comparing and giving you pros and cons. So I don't want it to taint your decision to get a semi-auto because it's rare.
Yep.
All right.
And in regards to pistol is a pistol, so grip and that stuff I'm not really taking into account because they're all going to be the same. Weight-wise, they're pretty much going to be they can be light, heavy, so that really doesn't really weigh in one way or the other.
Right.
As far as differences are concerned.
Sure.
So,
Handguns come in a variety of sizes.
size, shapes, and weights.
Correct, absolutely. And I've said this before, but it bears repeating. I kind of compare them to cars, so you can have a Chevy and it could be a Corvette or a Caravan. They're both Chevys, but they're completely different cars, right?
Yep.
So guns are the same way. You can have a Glock, who's the manufacturer, and then you can have a 9mm, which is the caliber, but you can have a Glock 9mm be a small or a full size,
Right.
So big difference in the gun itself, the size of the gun. So the caliber, the ammunition it takes, doesn't necessarily mean that if you have a higher caliber, a bigger caliber, it doesn't mean the gun itself has to be physically have to be bigger.
Right, because this gun and this gun both shoot the same caliber.
Yeah, this is the same caliber as these two. So and they're
One is
different in
clearly
size.
bigger than the other.
Right,
Yeah.
and the ammo is the same. So I've before done in my classes, and I get I've taken my little NAA revolver, which is like this big. I carry it in my little purse, and then I take the Taurus TX22, which is like
Or that
or a
rifle right there.
rifle, or a rifle, right? And
That
they
shoots the
all
same
take the
cartridge.
same
Yeah.
ammunition, and people go, because they don't realize that the same ammo can go in multiple different, size guns. It doesn't mean that the gun is bigger just
Right.
because of the caliber. If that makes sense, I hope.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm glad we covered that. And then the other type of handgun is going to be a Derringer, right? So it's like a two-shot.
This particular one is a two-shot.
this-
And again, you can have
sometimes
different
it's four,
size. You
right?
can have different.
I've seen the
Yep. It could
four.
be a
That's
single-shot
cool.
Derringer as well. So
So a Derringer is going to have, basically, usually it doesn't have one of these, right?
a trigger guard.
Trigger guard.
That can actually come off. So if you don't want it on there, you can remove it. It's just a little
I didn't know
screw.
that. But yeah, little Derringer.
Yeah.
So Derringers are cool, but they are limited capacity, right? But they are easy to use.
And they're usually very, very small. That's kind of one of the things.
Small.
This is, back in the good old West kind of thing, that was when they hid in their boot or hidden, in their sleeve or whatever kind of thing. It was just, that was a way for them to conceal.
Absolutely,
So, yep.
yeah. So smaller, that's your smaller kind.
Yep.
All right, so long guns. So we brought up a variety of long guns. Lots of different types, lots of different styles of long guns. I know the AR-15 gets a really bad rap, but but there's a lot of other rifles and long guns available.
Yeah.
Lots of different kinds of actions. So long guns can be a rifle, right? A shotgun.
Yep.
And they come in semi-automatic, which would be the same as the handguns that we talked about here,
Right.
That it has a magazine or not.
So a semi-automatic doesn't necessarily have to have a magazine.
Okay.
So we have a semi-automatic here
let's talk about
that is
this.
fed by a tube.
Okay.
So the ammunition actually goes in through this tube on the bottom, and it actually loads from this point. So we have
Unscrew
to get
it.
close to the
Yep.
barrel. This comes out, and I just lost my battery pack. And then ultimately, we're
Yep.
going to put our ammo back in the back side there,
Yep.
and
Yep. And there you go.
good to go.
Rob, can you hear Shad still? Yes. Okay. Oh, kind
There
of.
you
So this specific one is our military daughter's first gun. So we introduced her to firearms probably around 12 or 13-ish. That's something that I want to talk about too, is when to introduce your children to guns. And when I say children, I mean your kids, right? So you know your kid best. So you need to make the decision on when you think they're mature enough and that they can actually handle the responsibility and understand the sheer
magnitude and implications of what they can do.
responsibility. So if you're if you think your 12-year-old or 7-year-old is mature enough or whatever, it's up to the parent. You know your kid.
Sure.
I just had one of our instructors in Tampa text me and say, hey, when do you cut it off? When do you start, that
Right.
age? And I said, it is completely up to him personally to see where he's comfortable. Mine is like 14, because I think at that age, they're comprehending, they understand, they play video games, So for me, that's the age. But Brielle, we introduced.
And boys and girls, right, are a little different, kind of thing. But
Are they hunting, with their dad, So it all depends. But again, it's very personal. So you have to make that decision on when you think that they're ready. You just don't want to introduce kids to guns that are just like blah off the wall. They can't hold attention, and then.
And it's multiple things. It's can they physically handle and manipulate the gun, and then mentally are they able to focus enough? Because a lot of times,
Ooh, squirrel.
kids nowadays, right, it's like ADD and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, can they really focus and deal with this situation at hand? Because ultimately, something that goes wrong can go very, very wrong very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. But it is important to talk to your kids when you feel they're ready, because kids are like little investigators. You think you hit it, and they're going to go through your room. They go through your drawers. They look under your bed. They're
Constantly
everywhere.
checking.
They're everywhere. So if you don't think they are, they are. All right. So back to this one. So this is a Marlin, and it's a 22 long rifle.
Yep.
And this is a semi-automatic, but it is tube fed. So that's a rifle.
Instead of magazine fed.
Correct.
Right? And then magazine fed, semi-automatic is going to be your typical AR-15.
Ooh, that's scary.
Very, very scary.
So scary. And he's not pointing it at me.
No,
There's
it's
depth here.
It's actually in front. Yeah.
Yep. So this is your typical semi-automatic AR. So AR-15 stands for
Assault rifle.
Armalite. Jeez. Oh, your mom. I love her dearly.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that assault rifle ban?
I assaulted the shit out of somebody with this gun.
Yeah. Definitely assault somebody with it. But Armalite rifle, or what's the new term that they're using?
Modern sporting rifle.
Modern sporting rifle.
MSR.
Right. So again, with each one of these, it's one pull, one bullet. One pull, one bullet. So even though this one is tube fed, it is still a rifle. same as that.
Capacity here is going to be a little bit higher,
Sure.
right? You are limited in capacity because of the fact that it's fed by a tube as opposed to the magazine, which can grow, and you can, whether it's a drum or some other stuff.
But you can also get a
definitely gives you more.
5-round magazine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
because some states, that's what they require.
Right.
So
So you could
hunting
do
purposes and stuff like
5-round
that.
magazines in AR-15s. Hello, doesn't have to be 30.
Nope.
15, 10. You could do all different.
Right.
Depends on what your use is and what you're doing.
Yes.
You could also get a 100-round drum if you
Yes.
want. So, and again, with these guys too, I mean, you could do that with a semi-automatic pistol. You can have it depends on the size of the gun, but you can have a 6-round in a semi-automatic, right? 5-round or
Yeah.
whatever, up to a drum. You could put a drum in a Glock.
Yeah.
So,
50
and a
round
drum is like a circular, it has all the ammo in it if you didn't know. It's not an actual
Boom, boom.
Not talking
so much
about
like
that. No. I mean, if you want to wear one, that would be cool.
That would be interesting.
I just had a vision of
Oh,
like
boy.
drumming
Little drummer boy
and
with a gun.
shooting.
Yeah.
Anyway, little drummer boy with a gun.
Yeah.
All right, so tube fed, and then semi-auto,
Magazine fed.
rifle.
And then we also have, that is also a semi-automatic.
Okay.
Just an older version.
Oh my gosh,
right,
this
the
is
SKS.
so cool. I
Yes.
love this guy. So this guy's a bolt action.
Yep. No, it's a semi-automatic.
Oh, it's a semi-automatic?
Yeah, semi-automatic. It looks like a bolt just for the fact of what that is, but that's the charging handle.
Oh,
in order to charge
okay.
it.
So
it
don't
is-
let that fool you,
yeah,
people.
So it is semi-automatic.
Yep.
It's magazine fed, but
Oh,
it's what we
here's the
call an
magazine.
internal magazine.
So this doesn't come out?
It doesn't come out, it pops open, but ultimately you put the ammo into the top, it loads it in, and it keeps it in there, and then you go bang, 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 and then you have to put more in from the top,
There you
as
go.
opposed to dropping a magazine and replacing the magazine. So internal box magazine is kind of what that's called.
Very cool.
Yes.
There you go. So
Yes.
not a bolt action, semi-auto. I could
Yep.
see the little mag over here.
Yep.
And this is so cool because it's got a little bayonet. I mean, how
Yep,
cool.
It's not little.
Whoop. Look at that. Isn't that
Little
cool?
bayonet, yeah. And ultimately, in order
So just
to
in case you're out of ammo, right?
folds away.
Yep,
There we
and it
go.
folds away. So cool. I love this gun. And as you guys know, if you've been watching, I love different kinds of gun. I'm like a collector. So when I saw the bayonet and the wood furniture on this, and sometimes I choose a gun and Shad will be like, "What'd you get that for?" And I'm like, "Because it's so cool. I just love
I
it."
never said that, but
You haven't? That
Not
wood,
what did you get it for.
furniture. You're like, "Why did you get that?" You do.
the Benelli.
Yeah.
The Benelli. No, it's cool. It's different.
I like cool and different.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
that's Russian made.
Yeah.
So Ruskies.
well, we're not happy with them.
We're not, but it's still.
But that's okay.
We grew up back in USSR days, stuff, so just a little different.
Speak for yourself.
Different. Well, you were alive then. So.
I don't know. I was a newborn, maybe. Okay, back to this.
Yes.
Okay, so another type of rifle would be lever action.
Yep.
So let's talk about that. So these are the different kinds of actions. So semi-auto, tube fed. This one is considered a magazine fed?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It is. It's
Okay.
an internal magazine.
Okay.
So
So lever action rifle is going to be this kind. And by the way, pros and cons to these guys. So con to the Marlin would be it's tube fed.
it's tube fed, so you are limited in capacity.
Right.
So that's
and
gonna be one of the
reload
negatives.
and
Correct. So it's going to be definitely slower reloads and a little less capacity. Semi-automatic, though, it does give you the capability of shooting pretty rapidly if you need to shoot rapidly.
and then changing the magazine quickly
On
that one.
Right, on
The
this
AR,
guy.
yeah.
And again, on the box magazine, it's internal, so it's definitely harder to load.
Yeah.
Unloading is easy because you just shoot it.
Right.
But semi-automatic, the AR-15 style is definitely going to give you quicker reloads, more capacities in regards to that. Yep. Yep.
Okay, cool.
For sure.
And so lever action, pros
Yep.
and cons on this guy.
So in comparison to a semi-automatic, it's going to be a little bit slower just for the fact of kind of what we have to do. There's
So you
always
pull the lever.
exceptions to the rule, right? You go bang, you pull this down, it's going to throw out the round, you just, whatever's left,
casing,
you're going to put that back. It's now going to load the next round, you're ready to shoot again, you go bang, and
Yep.
you just keep kind of doing that until you run out of ammo.
Okay.
Again, this is tube fed, so let me get this
I was
right.
going to say, how do you
It's
get the ammo in?
Tube fed here.
like the Marlin.
So, and then there's different kind of tube feds. So some of them you're going to load from here, but there's also a side loading gate on
Okay.
some. So this is a Winchester. This has a side loading gate. This
Okay.
is the gun that won the West. So,
Cool.
but ultimately you load in here until it reaches its max capacity. Chamber one, you can put one more back in, and you're ready to go.
Gotcha. And so a benefit of this guy, of the lever action, does it potentially malfunction less than a semi-auto that could potentially...
It does give less opportunities for things to go wrong. Okay. So yes, that is
a pro to lever action. Because
Correct.
lever actions are very popular. I mean, I have people come in and they're looking for a lever action, and I wasn't sure what the pro and con to having a lever action over a semi-auto would be.
Again, they can be a little bit more accurate as well.
Okay.
Just for the fact of you're pulling the trigger a little bit slower. So in doing so, it gives you a little bit more accuracy, a little more time to find your target and reacquire your target. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So semi-auto bolt action. So we brought a big old bolt action, which is behind our head here. So I know I said it before when we were looking at the SKS, and even on the Marlin. So you'll see this little charging handle. So that is not a bolt action. So when you see something sticking out like that, even though it might look like a bolt action, this is actually just a charging handle, which is like, which makes it go live and put a round in.
Correct.
So on this guy, that's a true bolt action.
Correct.
These guys aren't.
And this particular one also is magazine fed, so it actually has an external magazine. Most or a lot of them are going to have internal box magazines like the SKS. Right, so that's, again, on those internal box magazines, that's going to kind of limit your capacity.
Gotcha.
You could also have a bolt gun that is also tube fed. So there are multiple versions of bolts and how they're going to function, but the reality is it's a much slower shooting. It's more comparable to a revolver as opposed to a semi-automatic, because you're manually doing everything as opposed to the gun doing it for you.
That's a great way to explain it.
Right.
And as you can see with the bipod on it, you are limited to the capacity of your magazine. So for these, you're looking at 5, 10 rounders tops, right?
The magazine, or the bipod can extend, so you can get higher if you need to.
Okay, gotcha.
But there are certain magazines that you can put in here, and usually it's about 10 rounds is usually about what the capacity is going to be on those.
Gotcha.
But,
cool. Yeah, bolt actions are cool. And then the other thing too is with barrel length, right?
Yep.
So barrel length is gonna, on a rifle, on a long gun, is gonna make a huge difference, and not just rifles, but we'll talk about shotguns too, but barrel length makes a huge difference.
Right.
So barrel length, so what is a pro and a con of having a shorter, and on pistols too, I guess, right? So barrel length, having a shorter barrel, what would be a pro and a con for that?
A pro for that is going to be easier to wield. So in a rifle, maybe depending on where we have it, it's going to make the gun a little bit lighter potentially, and a little bit easier to kind of manipulate.
Right, weight and size. Yeah.
It's going to, with a shorter barrel, if everything else is equal, meaning that we're shooting the same cartridge, you're not going to have as much distance capabilities on it.
Okay.
Because ultimately, when the projectile is going through the barrel, it actually increases velocity.
Yep.
So with that velocity, you're able to get more distance.
Right.
So a longer barrel length is going to give you more velocity, and it's also going to give you more accuracy.
Yes.
So potentially a little less accuracy
with a shorter
and a little
barrel.
less distance.
Right.
Correct.
So that's the pro and con of a longer barrel versus a shorter barrel, right? So shorter barrel, pro is going to be, the size of it, so you can manipulate it better. And then a con would be definitely, it's not going to be as accurate. Now let's talk about this guy. I don't have his name. I didn't do the research, but I just saw it as a preview on a news headline, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
What the hell, Bobby?
Yeah.
I almost
what
said
the hell, Bobby?
This guy, and we got to do the drawing, but shot 30, 40 yards with a Glock.
10 rounds, 40 yards with a Glock, 8 rounds on target against a potential mass shooter.
Yeah, killed him.
Yeah.
It was so good. He stopped him and got 8 out of the 10 rounds. That's hard to do.
And the 2 rounds that he missed didn't hit anybody else, so ultimately he knew what was between him and his target and beyond, and he took care of a threat.
So good.
And he had zero formal training. So he had no formal training. He was in a state that it was constitutional carry. So he didn't have to go through any courses or anything like that in order to do it. And ultimately, he did more than Uvalde cops did.
Well, we just wanted to give a shout out to that guy because I go to the range. You've been to the, like we shoot, we're familiar, and
40 yards with a handgun, it is a long
that's
shot.
a long shot, and he was accurate. 8 out of 10 is pretty accurate.
It's phenomenal.
I mean,
he did
really
absolutely
good.
Phenomenal.
So
well done.
that's a distance. So
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
hands off.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yes, he
Long
did.
nailed it. So those are the pros and cons. So shotgun, longer barrel, more accuracy, short barrel rifle. We're not going to go too heavy in because we're going to do the drawing.
No, I get it. But shotgun, you're going to have
pump or semi-auto.
Right, semi-automatic. Semi-automatic is obviously going to be able to allow you to shoot it quicker, maybe not necessarily as accurate. This is going to be a little bit more reliable because of the fact you don't have that semi-automatic stuff happening.
The pump is going to be more reliable.
Pump's going to be a little more reliable. You also have break action, which will 2 rounds usually, maybe a little bit more. And then barrel lengths we already talked about. So,
right.
Yeah.
And the pump, you hear that distinctive sound.
Yeah.
Again, love that distinctive sound.
Yep.
That is a good warning for people.
Huge.
So somebody has that ringtone. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Yes, so longer barrel versus shorter barrel, again, accuracy and things like that. So, all right, so I want to get into drawing the raffle winner. I said 3 minutes. I thought it was 5 minutes. Okay, anyway. So we want to pick the winner of the raffle. So this is for the Springfield Armory.
Yep.
Can we grab that? I want to grab the gun. No? You can't grab it.
Not really. It's in the case. Well, I mean, I can. So just give me
All
a
right,
second.
no. It's okay. It's okay. Don't unhook your
So-
mic. All right, so we're very excited. So,
done
and
with my
actually, I
mic. I just
think,
gotta get this stuff.
Rob, you have something on the Springfield that we could put up. So, oh no, Springfield Armory Edge ATC.
ATC.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
there it
So
is.
if you scroll up a little bit.
Or down.
Down, whatever. So there it is. So that is the gun that we are raffling off today.
We got
so
the black one.
Yep.
It does not have a scope like that has a scope on it.
Right.
But ultimately,
But
you are
we-
going to get a bipod.
we have lots of choices for
We
scopes.
do have stuff where you can purchase a scope for it, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome looking. Is it a pistol length?
It's a rifle.
Okay, so
it's
it's
16 inch.
16 inch.
16-inch
16-inch barrel.
Yep.
So super excited. Oh
Yeah,
my
I did
god.
that. You get a draw.
Yeah, because I'm excited. Rifle.
Alrighty.
Winner.
Wiener,
All right, I'm not gonna look.
Oh,
Whoop.
up here. There you go.
All right, here we go. Here we
Just
go.
one.
Are we ready? Winner, chicken dinner. All right, here we go. All right, ticket number 332187. That's 332187. Sean McKinney. Sean McKinney, you have won the Springfield Armory Edge ATC. Sean McKinney. Is that how you'd say that?
That is how I would say it. Yep. Sean McKinney for sure. Awesome, man.
Awesome. Congratulations. So
Absolutely,
we'll
brother.
give you a holler. After the show is done, we will contact you
Yeah.
and you can come into the shop. So although,
Hope you can pass the background check, brother.
yeah, that's one thing.
Otherwise, we're going to have to draw another name, but
We
I'm
will,
just saying.
we will, Sean, we will have to draw another name if you don't pass. So
right.
there is a chance for somebody else. So let's hope that
Hope
Sean
Sean passes the background check.
passes the background check.
I'm sure you'll be fine, brother. I'm just saying.
Right. Because contrary to popular demand,
Mm-hmm.
there are background checks, especially in Florida. I mean, I don't know all the states, but I'm pretty sure all the states do background checks.
There are some states that if you have a concealed weapons license, they don't have to do a background check.
Right, but they do the background check to get the concealed license.
But
But
in
things
Flo-
could happen. Yes, I do
But
get
in
that.
Florida, so ours are good for 7 years. But even
Right.
if it happens, even if it's good for a year and you get your license and something
Something
happens in
happens.
between,
Right.
you'd think they'd come get your concealed weapons license, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So, but
They can.
nonetheless,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
some do, some don't. So we'll see.
Right. It
But-
just depends on the state, I think.
Yes.
So very excited. All right. So Sean, like I said, we are going to reach out and this is
Yes.
yours. We can help you out with accessories and different things, but it does
Yeah.
come with the soft case.
Yes.
Comes with one 30-round mag and the bipod.
Yes.
So
the
super
Magpul
excited.
bipod.
Yay. Super exciting.
Absolutely.
All All right, cool. So I'm going to keep that handy right there. So you'll come in and do your background check, and then we'll take a photo. So make sure that you're camera ready, and we'll...
Not so much camera ready, but camera ready.
No, both. Either one. All right, cool. So a couple of things in closing. Make sure that you check out this weekend the event that's going on if you're local to Tampa Bay. At the Tampa Bay Convention Center, there is that event going on tonight, which is called eventually Turning Point USA is putting it on.
Correct.
It's starting today. Governor DeSantis is going to be talking tonight.
Yep.
And
Probably
then,
while you're watching this.
You think
I
already?
think so.
Today?
Well, no.
Oh, 6 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
6, 7, he might be on stage about that time.
Okay, yeah, because we
So.
did get a lineup of all the different speakers and when they're
Yes.
speaking. So if you go to the website, it'll have that whole listing of when. So that's really exciting. And then
Yes.
also tomorrow night, like I said, President Trump is going to be speaking.
We
So
get the Dons,
Yes.
senior and junior.
It's not the first time that you used to go to all of the rallies
I went
and
to
stuff.
several rallies with Grampy. Yes, Grampy and I would frequent, I don't know, we hit 5 or 6 of them, I think.
So
We did
many.
the inauguration, so that
Yeah.
was,
And plus the inauguration, that was really cool. So, and if you didn't know, Grampy is my dad.
Yes.
And so, yeah, they went to a whole bunch, and that was super cool.
He's
All right.
like, they have one going on over in Boca Raton. All right, you want to go? Yes. Okay, let's go.
He'd be like, I'm going to a rally with your dad. Okay, see you later. I got the shop. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for watching. Did you see that? I spent a little.
Well, I didn't see it. I just saw, like,
No. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share.
Yes.
Tactical Talk with Mad Dog Armory. We're super excited to be here. Keep us going by spreading the word and spreading the information that we
Yes.
provide. We will see you guys next week. We're here every Friday at 6 p.m. on Facebook and Area 52. I don't know if they host it, but
I don't know if we have the address yet on exactly how to get there, but yes.
okay.
Yep.
So make your week great. And if you have any show ideas, tacticaltalk@mdarmory.com.
Bye.
Bye.